I was all about Mono Blue Storm. Like that deck was my favorite standard deck. Kind of because right now it's modern season. I typically play really competitively, so I'll play PVTQs and GPs and SCGs. But the fact that all the silly fun decks that are coming out during modern season kind of makes me sad because these decks are actually kind of good competitors. Like they're decks that can actually keep up. And so I'm a little disappointed that Mono Blue Storm and Blue Red taking turns are viable when Standard isn't really the competitive format. But we're gonna mulligan this. Oh, this hand is not phenomenal. We're on the draw. We have a scry. We have 2 lands. We don't really need double red except for Sweltering Sun, so this Aether Hub will probably sit there until it makes a blue for us. We're going to keep this one, but it's not phenomenal. Keep that on top. Cool. So we get a blue source. We need to make sure we hit our land drops. A blue land, so it could be blue-white control, Bant Fog. Could be the mirror match. Those are starting to pop up. Looks like blue-white control, which I think should be a good matchup for me. The reason I think it's a good matchup is my deck is just kind of has this inevitability where their deck eventually will run out of the resources, especially if I don't ever flashback a memory. Okay, no, so this is Bant Turbo Fog, and this is definitely a good matchup. If they're not on the control-y version, it's a really good matchup because their fogs don't stop my fight with fire when they're kicked. That's unfortunate to draw that now, but we're going to run it out there. Excellent. Well, first of all, don't sleep Battle of Wits, but secondly, get some help shuffling, because that's just the worst experience in the world. Put this in the graveyard, yes. We don't really need the energy, so we're just going to play the island. We don't really care to play Primal Amulet right now. There's no reason to run into the mana or leave them open for Teferi. 5-color aggro control. What's 5? Is that your Battle of Wits? Yep, so Turbo Fog. Are you playing creatures in your Battle of Wits deck? So normally Battle of Wits is just 5-color combo. Like that's just every combo you can fit into the deck, you put it in there. Put Aether Hub. I think put Aether Hub on the bottom, but I'm okay with the Syncopate. Syncopate does actually exile Nexus of Fate, so that's kind of relevant. If we can Syncopate a couple Nexus of Fates, then I didn't realize. Oh man, that's awesome. Put Sulfur Falls in the graveyard, yes, because we really want to get this to flip. We're gonna run out the amulet. So if we can actually Syncopate 1 or 2 Nexus of Fates, because we have 2 Syncopates in the deck, then that's actually fairly sweet. We can Syncopate this for 1. It's going to be 1. Done. Because Primal Amulet reduces it by 1, so it actually works that way. So now we get to cast our Jaya, and now we're definitely in a good spot. They're going to have a hard time answering that. We have to lose our energy, but that's fine. Put this in the graveyard, yes. Because we can just cycle away these 3 awful cards we have in hand. This is going swimmingly. They also missed a land drop, which is really bad in this matchup. And we didn't. Now, if they're the list that brings in Carnage Tyrant, that's going to be kind of hard. So, if we draw a Fight with Fire, we might actually use it, graveyard that, yes. Transform, yes. Oh, well. Do we want to start taking extra turns while we're ahead? 3, 4. We could do that and activate Azcanta. Yeah, I think we do that. But let's first. Well, no, cancel. So we. It's nice to activate Azcanta and then show them the Nexus of Fate, but we want to hit a Nexus of Fate, so we're gonna just cast the Nexus of Fate first. That puts a counter on Primal Amulet for us. Oh, I tapped one too many. Oh well. So I wasted 1 mana. Alright, so now we activate this. What do we got? We actually want this commit, because we will probably commit the Teferi. Okay. Let's discard the extra Jayas. Because it does not... Oh, we're gonna take so many turns. Okay. Yeah, this is fine. Oh, so this is about to go really poorly for our opponent. Add mana. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's this? And then now Primal Amulet's gonna flip. Yes, we want to flip that. And then I think we cycle this, or let's activate this. Take a Supreme Will, any order. I'm not going to look at their chat. It's either they're really happy or they're really, really mad. So I really don't care to look. So let's go blue, 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 red, red. We're going to go and cast the Nexus of Fate and then cast a Glimmer. We'll get 2 Nexus. Alright, so they concede. Alright, so this matchup, we can bring in the Negates, we can bring in the Virtuosos, we can bring in the Gear Hulks. We don't care about Sweltering Suns, we don't care about a Braid, Harness Lightnings. We have 2 other cuts, so sort by converted mana cost. I'm not exactly sure what the other cuts are. I nearly lost it. I'll take triple Nexus of Fate in my hand any day when my opponent's F6'd. I think maybe we only want 2 Whirler Virtuosos, because I would definitely want the rest of this. Syncopate's like not great, but if you are able to hit their Nexus of Fate with a Syncopate, then you are pretty much untouchable. So, because the percentages now favor me. So I'm going to go ahead and just try it this way. We have the ability to take extra turns. Oh. First run, feel well so far. Let's see. This hand looks great. We're going to keep this hand. Yeah, so we have the ability to fight with fire them, but we can also resolve a Hulk and start taking extra turns and win that way. If they bring in Carnage Tyrant, we're going to have some trouble, but that's why we'll just try to take an infinite number of turns before they can Carnage Tyrant us. The Supreme Will have to find us a land if we can't find a 4th one naturally, but I would love to have it as a counterspell. What's up, kitty cat? I definitely think, like, I think on paper this is the better version of the Nexus of Fate decks. Because our card quality is just way up here, where the Taking Turns deck, or the Turbo Fog deck, just runs so many bad cards. Like, I don't want to run Gift of Paradise, I don't want to run Haze of Pollen and Root Snare. So, why not just run really good blue cards instead of these really awful, draft bulk cards? Okay. Now, perfect. And it's a Spire Bluff. It was the last opportunity to play it untapped. What are we playing? Oh yeah, that's fine. Our hand is fairly stacked. We're just going to prioritize making sure we don't miss land drops. Sanissa. Gift of Paradise. I mean, they've cycled 2 lands, so they have lands, so I'm not super worried about Gift of Paradise. That's not the card we want to fight over. Could stick this Whirler and start trying to go. Yeah, I like that plan. Because the next turn, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, they can't start Nexusing next turn. So the worst they can do to us is a Teferi, and we can pressure that Teferi. The awkward part is if we don't top deck a land, we'll have to use our turn finding lands, but that's okay. Yeah, they have lands in hand. They go Carnage Tyrant, that's going to be really unfortunate. We'll have to like let it hit us once, and then surely they're not going to miss a land drop here. Okay. So we'll have to let the Carnage Tyrant hit us if they play one. And then we can start taking extra turns to try to just not let everyone tap. Attack Teferi. I mean, I'm sure they boarded out Fogs. So we have a clock for Teferi. I'm going to cast the Supreme Will to try to hit a land. Oh, wow. That's unfortunate. I'm going to take the Supreme Will. The reason I'm taking the Supreme Will over, say, a Glimmer or Commit is when we do hit a land, it'll allow us to have Supreme Will plus Negate. Whereas if we take a Glimmer or Commit, we can only have one of those spells. We already have Glimmers, so... Alright, so if they can't find a way to put something in play, Teferi's dead. Here's Tyrant. Or Nexus. Okay, so here comes Nexus. So maybe we should have just been resigned to the fact. The probability was that we were going to hit a land, but maybe we should just let it go. And just been okay with the fact that we weren't going to not have a land. Clock is a concern when you're playing this deck online, but the upside is, like, if they combo off, you F6. If you combo off, they F6. And so you're just taking turns, taking forever. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They don't have enough to play a Nexus. So they're actually, looks like they're looking for Nexus right now. They should also be tapping their Forest. So that for their Charter Courses, because it's going to be a 1-mana Charter Course. So then they get to untap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They won't have the mana to cast Nexus on my end step either. Teferi will survive an extra turn. Because I don't have enough energy to make another Thopter. Cycle? I'm not really sure what we're doing. Oh, they did have enough mana. I miscounted. Okay. So this looks like this is David Williams' list from Pro Tour 25. It runs Glimmers and Charter Courses. What is that? City's Blessing. Oh, and Secrets of the Golden City. So he topped my Whirler. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, so he taps for mana, untaps with Teferi, and then taps for mana. Okay. That's a pretty interesting interaction. So, I mean, you definitely can't take another turn now. So we're going to be able to kill this Teferi with the Stopter. This is unfortunate. So we get Teferi off the board. I feel like we can't. I mean, he definitely has counter magic, and he has enough mana to where if he, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he could counter if we. Yeah, we're gonna Supreme Will again. Wow. Take this Whirler, I guess. Any order. So we're so far away from playing Nexus of Fates that our play is to discard this Nexus of Fate. That's pretty ridiculous. Plays another Fairy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he can play a Nexus on instep if he wants to. That's a pretty cool interaction. So Teferi will untap this dual land, and then you tap it, and it'll kind of, you can tap it, untap it, tap it, and generate 4 mana off 1 land for another Nexus. Alright, so they're not going to be able to Nexus this turn. Looks like they need more Nexus Fates. Oh, there's a land. So now we just, oh, attack. I want to keep Teferi down, because they can eventually chain together a lot of turns. So we have double negate. If they start to try to take a bunch of turns, we can try to get in the way of that. Let's see what they reveal. They take a Glimmer. I think one of those were activated last turn. So far ahead that like we're never casting these Glimmers very efficiently. A Nexus is awkward, so if we Glimmer at the end of their turn, they can response and Nexus of Fate, and so we'll be tapped out. We will negate a Nexus of Fate. Because we need to be taking turns so we can try to get some land drops. We will fight over it. We're too far behind to be letting them take that many turns in a row extra. So we could play Jaya, and then play Glimmer. Yeah, I think that's what we're doing. Okay. Alright, so they've whiffed. So we're going to plus and we're going to Glimmer. So they're going to be able to go off again next turn, but I actually want them both on top. On top. On top. Because if we start taking extra turns, we need to get we need to get lands in play. And we want to eventually start taking extra turns of our own. So the game is pretty much over. They have it pretty well locked up with the number of Nexus Fates they have and the amount of mana they have. The reason we're not going to concede is we really want to see if they're playing Carnage Tyrant, because that's really important information. Because they have multiple, looks like they have 3 Nexus of Fates in their hand. I haven't been doing a good job keeping up with it. Okay, so Manglehorn. Oh, I guess they bring it in to kill Primal Amulet. Still want to see if they're running Carnage Tyrant. We know they have like infinite Nexus of Fates. Because we're ahead on clock, if they have a Carnage Tyrant, they're incentivized to play it. And this will allow us to see it. I don't think the sideboard plan was bad. I think it's... we just missed our mana for too long. Alright, so now we're going to go the Karn Construct plan. This is pretty impressive. This list of cards over here. Yeah, we're beat. I just really want to... I'm hoping they cast a Carnage Tyrant so I can know if they have it. This version, I want to say they ran 1 or 2, but they might have run 0. That's why it's really important to know, because like Whirler Virtuoso is a lot better when I know they don't have Carnage Tyrant. So many Nexus of Fates. Just show me a Carnage Tyrant. We're gonna have to discard, so they'll discard an extra Nexus probably. It's the Glimmer. They're getting pretty close to just their deck is all Nexus of Fates. Which is good, because that's going to tell me whether or not they have this Carnage Tyrant. So they brought in 2 Manglehorns. Between Manglehorns and Negates, Primal Amulets aren't great, but we're also not... so by now they would be discarding some of their counter magic. So we're not really seeing other counter spells. So we're knowing now that we can worry about... we're going to give you... Search Rascanta. So they have an Exiled Nexus of Fate. Let's see. We've seen 1, 2 Negates, 2 Manglehorns. I haven't seen any other counter spells. I haven't seen a Carnage Tyrant. Let's see what they reveal. They whiffed, so they didn't hit anything. So 4, 8, 12, 14. So we're dead next turn. So I just want to see if they just immediately go for it or if they show us any other information. We really want to know what they have going on. They just keep showing us information. These kinds of matchups, like this is why it's kind of important not to concede, is you get information that will help you plan out how you're going to play. So they brought in Mirari's Conjecture. That's an important card to know. Okay. Okay. So at this point, we've seen 2 negates. We've seen no Carnage Tyrants. We haven't seen any Nissa Steward of Elements. So it looks like they're on David Williams' list. Which I don't know if it played any Carnage Tyrants in the sideboard. And it also didn't have a lot of counter magic. So seeing the Manglehorn, I'm going to go to a 3rd Whirler and only 2 Primal Amulets. I don't want to completely cut Primal Amulet, but I want to trim on it. Say it's not very impressive. We're going to keep it. It has like a lot of things we want it to do. We need some card advantage through a like Search for Azcanta or a Glimmer. But we have Supreme Will to go find those things, and we have negates. So that's fine. Gift of Paradise might be more important to counter than I originally anticipated, only because it allows them to start nexusing before we do. So that's not something we want. Search for Azcanta. We'll let that one go. We don't want to let it go, but we don't have a strong enough hand to fight over it. So they look like they're probably looking for lands if they're binning Karn. Because they're really close to being able to cast it. Gift of Paradise. I think we actually do want to counter this one. Our hand isn't very strong, so I don't want them being able to jump into taking advantage early. And the binning of Karn makes me think they might be needing lands. Come on. We've drawn 1 spell. Let's see. We're hoping to fire off the Supreme Will and hit a Glimmer or a Jaya. I guess if they got rid of that, they don't need lands. So I don't know why they didn't want that card. They had another. Yeah. So we negate this one. The reason we negate is because our hand is so bad, we might need the Supreme Will to dig. Killing me. Okay, so they kept that card on top. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, cool interaction is Search Azcanta. If you're in a situation where you're not casting Nexus of Fate, if your top card is Nexus of Fate, you can bin that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so they can start Nexusing next turn if they do this. But we're gonna Supreme in response. We're gonna take this Hulk so we can actually counter their next turn. We're still a few turns away from Nexus of Fate. Yep, that's good. It's a pretty strong turn. Field of Ruin. We can't blow up Forest. We're going to play this Field of Ruin because they flip that search. We have the option to just immediately pop it if we don't have a reason to Hulk. We only have 3 cards in hand. It's worth keeping in mind. We choose not to flip it because we have the Field of Ruin. Unbelievable. We founded this Hulk, so that means we've only drawn one spell this game. Yeah, can't fight over Glimmer. We'll live to draw a Glimmer. Can't fight over it. Got the Ice Cream Man rolling around. Somebody want to go out and get ice cream while we wait? Brawl. Whew. It's pretty spicy. Start playing Nexuses and attack me for 20. Okay. Please give me something. Couldn't find lands last game. That's like always how it works, especially in Magic Online. You have a game where you can't find any lands, in the next game, all you find is lands. That's it. Okay, so they did flip it. There's not really a reason to blow it up until they try to activate it. Or until we have the excess mana to Cure Hulk in response to them Nexusing when we do it. Teferi. Don't love Teferi. Let's do this. Shoot the Azcanta. You're right. You are right. I can Bane Fire them. Cool. So then they activate Azcanta. Then we get to go Gear Hulk countering Teferi. So we can go Gear Hulk countering Teferi, or we could, once he pluses Teferi, he's not going to really have an answer. And so we could actually Gear Hulk Supreme Will for a card advantage piece, and then kill it with Gear Hulk. Let's do that. I think that's a better play. We'll get a mountain. I don't think 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think they would have brought in like cast outs. We get blown out by this play if they do a cast out. Yeah, we're going to be for the greedy play because we're really behind right now. Because they also have a Nexus in hand. So they're drawing cards. We want to do this now because we don't want them to draw like a counter spell. Or we don't want to do it when it untaps lands or anything like that. Supreme Oil. Cast. It's the top 4 cards. What is this? Where am I? So we really don't get any card advantage. That was terrible. Holy smokes, that's bad. Alright, let's see if they brought in the cast out. So that top 4 makes this play look terrible. So play this Jaya, see if they let it resolve. And negate. Now we have to represent counter magic. This round has just not gotten my way. I still think I'm favored in this matchup. I have to either draw lands or, not draw lands. Like, I need to meet somewhere in the middle. I can't have both sides of that. I mean, if he's casting Next Fate now. Oh, I guess not. The fact that I haven't countered his negate or countered this Teferi, or the last Teferi, means I don't have counter magic. So Wait, what did he... Oh, he got rid of my Gearhulk? That seems wrong. This is like pretty embarrassingly bad. 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Let's see, how many do I run? 26. So I have 13 left in the deck. 3 of them are on the bottom. If he starts going for it, I can just F6. Because if I don't stop him, that tells him that I don't have interaction. Okay. And really, if he starts going for it, I just concede. Because he'll just kill me with this brawl across 20 turns, pretty much. He has enough advantage. I guess I don't concede, because he's got a really low number of cards in hand, so he could conceivably fizzle, but it would be really hard for him to fizzle. Discarded Botanical Sanctum? Yeah, so we make him actually go for it. Okay, so let's see what he hits. It's a Nexus of Fate. Okay, so that's a negate, that's not a Nexus. Could be on track to fizzling. I don't want to time him, but at the same time, if I don't see multiple Nexus of Fates hit, then I might as well keep playing. I think this was the one he cast. It was revealed as being shuffled back in. Okay, so there goes the Nexus. Let's see if he hits another Nexus. Nope, secrets. So he might not have any Nexus Fates in hand. And we're on a 6-turn clock. Nope. Okay, so he hits a Nexus. It's another Nexus. Oh, goodness. Is it 3 Nexus in hand or 2 Nexus in hand? I promise you this deck will... People will ask for this deck to get banned in the long term, just because people don't like playing against this kind of card. Okay. Okay. Okay, so they get 2 extra turns. So 3, 6, so that's lethal. Cool. Alright, so I just needed them to show me that they were going to have the lethal. I'm not going to time them out for that 2 minutes. So